And then of course you'll have the electronics that were present in the 93 version of the Dragonzord, as you can see here, with that awful whiny ding 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 sound.
Alpha, assaulting is task. Prepare for him a hard work with attitude.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Build the Megazord, where we're looking at issue 15 this time, and we are going to be continuing with the Mastodon head in just a little moment. But as always, I just want to spend just some time saying hello, although I've not got much to say this week. We touched on it last week, the news about Egamos, or the rumours about Egamos going into administration. We haven't had anything really official come out still. The websites don't seem to be working with error messages, which is a little worrying. But yeah, so that happened this week on the Egamos front. I will keep you updated with any new information on that one. And there's not much else to talk about this week, to be honest. But it is a shorter video, this one. It's very small pieces looking at the Mastodon head. So I do just want to spend some time thinking ahead and kind of hoping and wishing for what comes next with this line, if indeed it does become a Power Rangers build line. Because for me, the next logical step would be to build a Dragonzord. It is the 6th Ranger Zord. It is very well known. It usually follows the Dino Megazord from every other company that have released Power Ranger toys. And to kind of get some idea about what it would be like to have a Dragonzord, let's look again at the SOC Dragonzord, because we know that the Altaya seems to have reversed engineered the SOC Megazord, so it makes sense to look at the SOC Dragonzord to see what kind of things that we may be getting if this Dragonzord ever does come to light. So here is the Dragonzord. It's a top-down view at the moment because that's the way that my station is set up. And to get him face on, I'm just going to have to take apart the tail, which does come apart, and we'll get onto that later. So here is the SOC Dragonzord kicking the camera stand. I'm going to have to use the zoom rather than try and bring him to the camera. As you can see, it is beautiful. The gold chrome is gorgeous, and even though it's not show accurate, I still think it makes it look like an absolute collectible. I've got a loose foot because yeah, mine's a bit old, but yeah, it makes it look like a collectible even though it's not show accurate. The greys are really nice and shiny, like we see on the Altaya Megazord, and it's something that we don't see on the new Zap Megazord, which was just announced from Comic-Con this week. I have been enjoying Comic-Con this week, has to be said. Yeah, I think it is the best Dragonzord. The only gripe I have with this Dragonzord is that you can't really see the red of Dragonzord's eyes. They are really sunken in there, and it is something that the Legacy Dragonzord did do better, unfortunately. But that, I would say, is the only thing. The face is menacing, the teeth are sharp. I'm just going to zoom in on the face there. Look at that. Teeth are very sharp. You can see the red. It is red. There is red in the eyes, it's just very hard to see. The greens are gorgeous. Yeah, that gold is so reflective. You can see my camera and everything in there. So I really think it is a good starting part for the if Altaya do a Dragonzord. Actually, the only other thing I don't like is his mannequin toes. I mean, they're silver rather than gold of the Zap Megazord, but I don't know why they needed to do it. I guess because they just wanted to make it look a bit more premium. I don't really like them, to be honest. But you know, look at the metallic blue and golds there. It's just beautiful. And of course, it's all show accurate in terms of the deco. We don't have those lightning stickers. There's no lightning bolts on his feet or anything like that, which will be the same as the Altaya Dragonzord if it ever comes out. The improvements I think that you would be able to get with the Altaya Megazord, you'll be able to install electronics, so you'll be able to have eyes that glow. So hopefully they'll do some retooling so that they aren't as sunken in. But then you turn it on and they will just glow red, which would just be awesome. And then of course you'll have the electronics that were present in the 93 version of the Dragonzord, as you can see here, with that awful whiny ding-ding-ding-ding-ding sound. I didn't enjoy that. But of course there haven't been any electronics in other Dragonzords since then. So imagine having these parts light up. That would be fantastic. That would be really, really good. Another way that they could improve the Dragonzord on a bigger build is have articulated fingers rather than swap out hands. That would be awesome. And then maybe some kind of mechanical firing for the missiles, or at least missiles that you put in to the fingers. Again, and I don't mean to, oh god, this is turning into kind of a slagging off the Zap Dragonzord, but I don't like the way that they have done it with the hands. It looks like he's got like nails rather than the show accurate kind of holes here. But that is something that you could do with a bigger Megazord. I keep calling it Megazord. A bigger Dragonzord is have articulated fingers and maybe some kind of like firing mechanism, although it'd probably be classed as unsafe and whatnot. But there we go. Another great thing that came with this Dragonzord, which isn't present in others, is, if I just move this to one side, is the stand for the Mega Dragonzord mode. Again, you know, lovely gold chrome, lovely paint, all painted. And it's far more show accurate because, as you can see from his chest piece, it is actually too big to fit on the stand, really, to make it show accurate. And going back to the tail that's split up into 3 pieces, in fact I can zoom out a little bit now. The reason it does split in 3 very easily at these joints is that you put it together like that, you pop it on the top, and then you get a Mega Dragonzord staff, which just looks great. And what I really like about the staff is that these are metal pieces here to really hold it firm. It's not going anywhere, that. Very, very nice. And actually, if we just take the tail off and attach it back onto the Dragonzord, you know, it's lovely articulation. They do have a tendency to kind of snap with too much force, especially like I say here, where it is quite loose, but the others do tend to just come off rather than stay in place. But again, I think that would be improved on a bigger model of a Dragonzord. To be honest, all I want is a massive Dragonzord. I want a Dragonzord to go with my Megazord. I think it would look great. I'm going to just take that off so you can see it. And of course, following on from Dragonzord, of course, would be Titanos, the third and final Zord in the line. I can't imagine they're ever going to do a Titanos because, I mean, I'd love it. Can you imagine a Titanos the same size and scale as the Megazord are building now? It'll be huge. It'll be like a 4 foot. I don't know how long it's going to. It would just be absolutely huge. But I do kind of wish that we would get one. That would be great. And then of course we could make the Ultrazord, which was in the back of the shot at the start of the video. Actually, I did the Ultrazord wrong in the start of the video. Can you spot what was wrong with my Ultrazord build? Let me know in the comments down below what was wrong with it. But yeah, I'm not going to take up any more time talking about this because both of these things may not happen. But if we're not going to get a Titanos, please, Altaya, please can you make a Dragonzord after we're done with the Megazord? I'd like it to be announced just in time so that when the final issue of the Megazord comes out, the following week will be the first one of the Dragonzord. I would love that. That would be fantastic. But enough speculation and enough talking about the Dragonzord from me. Let's have a look at what we actually have in issue 15. And we have some electrical parts for the Mastodon head. So the first thing we need to do is we need to flip this around. And you've seen these kind of electrical parts before. We have the on-off button there, the USB-C charger there, and then some ports for wires, which will come later. We need to flip it around so that the ports and the button are facing outwards. And then we get this part and we have it so that the peg holes here, they're only on one side, but they're facing this way. And then we will just screw this bracket onto the electrical part just like that. And there it is, all completed. So you see you've got the electrical parts there and the bracketed part there. And this just very neatly fits onto this part of the Mastodon head here. That socket there and that socket there. So we just place it there and then screw it down again with 2 screws. And there we have the electrical parts all installed just nicely there. And you can see, if I try and get the angle right, you'll see that the on-off button just peeks out above the rim of the ear there. It's hard to see, but it means that it is going to be flush, and it does mean that all these parts that we see on the inside are going to be so that is going to be really nice, and all of my electrical taping and all that will be gone. But there is one more thing left to do, and that is to attach this wire. So the heads are the same, they both have 5 pins in them, and one attaches to the sensor, which I'm trying to do now. Not having much luck. Okay, what I'm going to do is try attach it to the part that we've just put in, because I have a better sight of it. In fact, this is too fiddly. I can't see anything at all at this angle, so I'm just going to do this off camera. Be right back. And here it is, all installed. Just be careful of this exposed wire while it is exposed, while we wait for the issues to cover it up. But yeah, it goes from the power source there into the sensor, and I don't know what this one's for. Hold on, let me just think. It will be not for the bulb, because that's the bulb and the sensor. That'll be for the battery. So when we get the battery, that's what that socket will be for. But that is the end of this video. Like I say, short and sweet this week. Next week we're going to be looking at more of the Mastodon head, a more sizable piece, not to give too much away. But I hope you'll join me for that. As always, I hope you'll give this video a like if you have liked it, share it if you want the Megazord to come out in your country, or share it if you think other people will be interested in me watching the build. And I will see you next time. So until then guys, take care, bye bye.